Welcome to Talking Game. It's just finished. West Ham United 0, Newcastle United 1. I'm not very happy about that, to be honest with you. Even though West Ham have got nothing to play for between now and the end of the season, yes, I still see it as a pre-season for Graham Potter in terms of evaluating your squad, which players he wants to work with going forward into next season. But I expect to see something for 90 minutes. Let's talk about the game. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Also, please do drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up. Helps out this video, helps out the channel, and gives me a little morale boost. I need one after that. And thank you. Just thank you too quickly to Adlad for the $5 super chat. It says we'll never win anything with this rubbish midfield. Got two logs in midfield while Newcastle have technicians. Bring Kamara in. Yeah, I'm not too pleased with that. I wasn't keen on the lineup when it came out. I felt like under Potter so far, I feel like we've been lacking creativity in games. We've not really been having many shots. I think I haven't looked, but I'd imagine more games we've had single figure shots than we have double digits. So when the lineup come out, I wasn't very happy with it. I felt like we needed someone additional in there to bring creativity. Now, the player I wanted to see was Paqueta, who came on and looked rubbish, but I stand by it. We needed more. If you're going to play that team, you're going to play that midfield and go toe-to-toe with Newcastle's midfield, you better win the midfield battle, really, to justify the team that Potter put out. And I know why he put that team out, because we've just won the last two games back-to-back. But what you've done in the last two games doesn't mean it's the right team for this game. It doesn't justify the performances by some involved. It's a case of what you're going to do against Newcastle. And you're going to go toe-to-toe with the midfield. You better beat them. As that person just said there, they've got the better midfield in terms of midfielders. There's no doubt about that. I'm not debating that. So you've got to do something else. And I think with them having a final on Sunday, there was one obvious answer, which was make it a little bit rough in there. Go out there and crank the aggression up a little bit and see if they've got it. We didn't even bother doing that. You showed someone, both teams, that doesn't know anything about football, and said which one of them look a little bit timid and they've got a final on Sunday. You'd say West Ham. Newcastle looked like they were up for it more than us. And I'm not having it. The first half, it was boring. It was an absolute boring game and overall, to be honest with you. But the first half, Bowen had a shot. Kudus had a shot. Areola made two fantastic saves, though. Harvey Barnes could have and possibly should have had a brace in the first half. The first save Areola made down to his left is exceptional. Barnes probably gets a touch on it 6 yards out from goal or something. Bear in mind, Areola's not stood on the goal line either. He's got very little time to react to that. How he gets down, that's more a save that keepers would make with their foot. So how he gets down and gets his hand to it, remarkable. And then the one from the header as well is a really good save. He'd go on to make an even better save in the second half to prevent an own goal from Kilman. But I think Areola, by the way, spoiler, he's my West Ham player of the match. I think there was only one or two players come out with a good rating from me. Areola is one of them. So there you go. Keeper, well done. Fantastic tonight. Distribution crap. But this comes down to tactics as well. You know, hoofing it to Jared Bowen, who's been marked by Dan Burn, isn't really something I was hoping to see. And it was something I was disappointed to see. And it was something I was even more disappointed to see continue throughout the match as well. We tried it a couple of times. Shot caller didn't work, so we kept on trying it, just booting it towards Jared Bowen as if he's suddenly going to gain an extra foot in height during a game of football. Surprisingly, did not work. We just had no creativity though in the first half. No creativity, no aggression. It looked like we had little in the way of a game plan. I was waiting to see something that would say this is how we're going to beat Newcastle. I feel like the plan was give it to Kudus and hope he takes on 6 Newcastle players and scores. And to be fair, at one point, the best bit of play came from a flick on from Edson Alvarez, who was playing in his traditional number 10 role. That youngster that came through was tipped as the next Messi for his playmaking ability. He was playing in number 10 for West Ham today, while we had Carlos Sola and Lucas Paqueta on the bench, and Evan Ferguson was on the bench, which prevented Bowen or Kudus playing deeper in midfield. But it was a really good flick on. It was just Kudus just lacking confidence, really. I think a bit more of a perkier Kudus takes that effort on quicker and instead of trying to swivel and take it onto his left foot, and it was well defended by Newcastle in the end. They were the better team on balance, went in 0-0, but they were the better side and had looked like the more dangerous side, which doesn't take much. How do you look more dangerous than a side with no danger? Just you need a small bit, which they had. 0-0 at half time. Thank you very much to GP for the £2 super chat. Appreciate it. Said boring match. Porter's subs gave me the willies. Well, when he eventually done them, but we'll get into it. Just after the hour mark, 62 minutes on the clock or something, Newcastle got the goal, made it 1-0. Bruno Guimarães with the goal. I'll be honest with you. Let's take both situations together, the goal and then the penalty that wasn't given for Jared Bowen, because they came within minutes of each other. For those that haven't seen it, Barnes crosses it. Isak pushes, and there's no getting away from it. He puts his hands on Kilman. Kilman goes down. Guimarães scores. Down the other end, Jared Bowen, ball gets scooped over top by Paqueta. Bowen's running in. Gets tangled up, should we say, with Bruno. No penalty given. On another day, I think a referee blows up. Just as Guimarães is away to touch that, I think another referee blows up, gives the free kick. VAR doesn't intervene. VAR goes with the on-field decision, regardless of what it is. It's not enough to overturn it one way or another. On another day, I think someone maybe gives that penalty for Jared Bowen. They look at it and go, do you know what? That's a pen. Coming together. There's a tangle of the legs. It's enough. Bruno's got no intention of going for the ball. Pen. I don't think VAR intervenes on that one either. I think they go with the on-field decision. So on another day, West Ham could have had a pen. Newcastle could have had a goal disallowed, but check the badge. And when I say that, I don't mean, oh, it's Newcastle, it has to stand. What I mean is it's not against an Arsenal or a Man United. So therefore, we're not going to bother to get involved in this one. For me personally, I'm not too, I think Kilman turns into an absolute pussy, to be honest with you. There's two hands on the back of him, but the way he goes down, I think Kilman can head that ball. And I know people will say, well, it's because he's getting pushed. But I don't know. He's in mid-air and he sort of looks at the referee and squeals as he's in mid-air. I think Kilman needs to be stronger there. For those that tune into the channel long enough will know how I feel about nudging, physical contact in the box. It doesn't bother me. I expect and want my centre back to be stronger in that situation. I think he goes down far too easily, and I think he makes it easy not to give that free kick. As down the other end, I don't think it's a penalty. I'd be disappointed that was given against West Ham. That's my honest answer. I appreciate it's not going to be too popular, but when I seen both, I saw the Newcastle goal, I thought that's not a free kick, and I saw Bowen going down. I thought it was an act of desperation from Jared Bowen, to be honest with you. Two players coming together, really. And I think the referee let a lot go in the middle of the pitch as well, by the way. For context, I thought there was a couple of 50-50s where two players went in and he just played on. When Tonali picked up his knock in the first half, him and Ward-Prowse, bang, went straight in, play on, bang, Wan-Bissaka went in, Ward-Prowse went in again. And referee let play continue. So it's not like he wasn't allowing the game to be physical at all times. But just wasn't enough for me. Eventually, substitutions are made. We're a goal down. At least subs were going to happen before we went a goal down anyway. So it didn't really alter Potter's plan as such. He continued with it. It didn't really change much. Did we get more creative? No. I think we started picking the ball up more in wider areas because Jared Bowen went out to the right-hand side. And then we started putting crosses in to Sher and Dan Burn, because that's a clever thing to do, because they might start missing it. To be fair, they looked dodgy with the crosses earlier on, which were on the deck, the low crosses. Oh, Souček missed a big opportunity. I forgot about that one because it happened 95 minutes ago or something. big opportunity after 2 minutes in the game. It was a decent ball in. It was good play by Kudus. And the thing is, he does the hard bit really well, Souček, which is anticipating it. A lot of players, how often do you see that situation happen and a player in Souček's position is stationary because he's expecting the defender to get it? So Souček almost does the hard bit, which is gamble a little bit in case Livramento gets it wrong. But then he's just leaning back a bit too much and blazes it over, which I'd put my money on him sticking in the back of the net, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's fast forward back to the 65th minute. We made the subs. It was just pointless. The issue, the personnel were not great, but the issue wasn't just the personnel. The issue was the tactics. The issue was the desire, and those things didn't change. When the subs were made, we remained playing the same way. We remained being calm, patient, and composed, knocking it about at the back. Then suddenly, just getting very erratic and going, launch it, boom. It was almost like Jekyll and Hyde West Ham, but within 60 seconds. For 50 seconds of it, we were, let's do neat little triangles, albeit in our own half. And then suddenly it'd be a case of, right, just belt it and then concede possession and get back into shape. It was a very frustrating performance from us. But Nick Pope, let's be very honest here. Nick Pope had it easy tonight. He had it easy. When he sat down and the physio come on, I don't think he was injured. I think he just fancied a fucking seat because he had nothing to do all night. He decided to take a pew ahead of the final on Sunday. Truth be told, he could have sat down for the remainder of the half and we wouldn't have bloody noticed. We didn't get near his goal. We are seriously lacking in creativity. By the end of it, Potter was just throwing players on for the sake of it. We finished that game with Ferguson and Danny Ings up front, Bowen on the right wing, Kudus on the left wing, Paqueta and Solar in central midfield. We were just throwing on players to try and get something. And even in that act of desperation, nothing happened. All that happened was Mavropanos decided to hoof it out the pitch. That's an unfair dig. He didn't do anything wrong until he decided to just hoof it out the pitch in the 95th minute or whatever it was. Just bad. Right, somebody else just kindly put in a super chat. I don't want to ignore it. Ad said Alvarez is beyond rubbish, boring and uninspiring. Fortune's Down Under TV, a YouTube channel for West Ham fans. If you haven't already checked it out, thank you very much for super chat. Very kind of you. Says Kilman went back to futsal days and felt contact went down way too easy. Could have easily dealt with it. Left it in the ref's hands. Mavropanos. I'm glad one person agrees with me about Kilman. I think it will be the minority, my friend. I think most people would see it as a free kick to Kilman. I expect him to be stronger. Thing is, I think Kilman had an all right game in that sort of in possession of the ball. I think he looked okay. There was a couple of tough tackles. He went in a couple of times on Isak, pretty tough, and Isak didn't fancy it today. He was one of the players that actually did not look like he was up for it this evening. I thought Todibo was looking all right. I thought Creswell was fine. Scarles, I think, struggled a little bit. I think it's not his fault Bruno Guimarães scored. He's up against him at one point. But I just felt like he was giving his attacker too much room to get crosses in tonight. Luckily, it didn't cause us too much bother. But there is an argument that Newcastle's goal initially comes from a cross from the right-hand side that gets cleared out. Then it comes back in. But even that, we're just sat off Barnes. Souček's just sat off Barnes, watching him, letting him shift it onto his right foot and put the ball in. It's just, there was just a lack of, I call it aggression. There's whatever the level underneath aggression is. So you've got calm, and you've got your different tiers of, haven't you? Gurness. The one under aggressive, slightly angry, maybe. We didn't even have that. There was just nothing about us. Desire, there was none of that out there from us tonight. It was very disappointing. I don't think it was a brilliant Newcastle team or a Newcastle performance. It's a fantastic result for them. Bumps them back up to 5th or 6th in the Premier League, back into contention for Champions League football ahead of that game against Liverpool on Sunday. It's an important result for them. And this is a nothing result for us. This is not an important result for us. But it was just, I wanted more. I wanted signs of progression. I wanted signs of some sort of tactical game plan from Potter, which wasn't just passing around at the back. I wanted something from some of the players starting tonight that would get me excited for the next game. And I came into this one excited for it, but I didn't know why. I said to Gonzo multiple occasions, well, twice, which is multiple, I guess, but the same amount of shots on target West Ham had this evening. I'm not even joking either. It probably was 2. Was as well, weren't it? That was it, weren't it? We didn't have another one, did we? Fucking hell. Anyway, I said to Gonzo, I'm excited for tonight, but I don't know why. And I genuinely couldn't put my finger on it. I still don't know why. Because that performance we've seen is I'm not surprised, let's be honest with you, after the Leicester performance. And the Arsenal one was fantastic, but it was hardly swashbuckling attacking football. It was just a very good defensive performance. And most of the fun from the Arsenal win was around their title bid, wasn't it? It wasn't like, wow, look, we played fantastic that day, yes, but it wasn't like we're going to play like this every game this season now and we're going to win every game. No one thought that. It was, ha ha ha. Any title race you had, kiss it goodbye. You ain't winning nothing this season. Double negative, don't like doing them. You aren't winning anything this season. Do one. I'm grumpy tonight. I am grumpy. I just wanted more, and I didn't enjoy it. When Newcastle went 1-0 up, the game was over. 63 minutes. Genuinely, I felt at 63 minutes, the game's done. So we ain't getting back into this one. Even when the subs were being made, I thought I don't really have much confidence that anything's going to happen. I was pleased when Ferguson come on, but you should have started at the start. I don't like Bowen as striker. I don't like this Bowen Kudus partnership up front in games like this. It worked against Arsenal, but it's not going to work every single game. And even that game against Arsenal, Bowen, while he scored, struggled with large elements of the game that a striker would bring to your team. In a weird way, losing might not be a bad thing, I say in the long run, for the remaining 10 games this season, because it'll force Potter to change it. Clearly, if we win, it looks like we're going to keep playing the same team. But it wasn't the right team for tonight. And he's stuck with it, I feel, just because they've won the last 2. A defeat now means, right, anything you want to change and rip up, now's the time to do it. If you were wanting to get Creswell back out the team, if you want to get Souček or Alvarez out the team and get Paqueta in there, you can. You want to get Kudus out the team, put Ferguson in, you can. I don't know what he wants to do, but you've got to do it now. Anyway, I didn't enjoy that. Didn't think it was a great performance. Thought we struggled tonight, and disappointingly, I thought it was pretty easy for Newcastle. And I never like feeling like that. I never like feeling like it was easy to beat us. And I thought that was tonight. Frustrating. Hopefully, an improvement against Everton on Saturday. We're going to need one if we're going to pick up 3 points. But an opportunity missed tonight by West Ham, I think, and some tweaks required from Potter. Anyway, tomorrow night I'll be live. Shall we say 6 p.m? Tomorrow night? Get the show done before the Champions League football. Don't know what time. There's usually a 5:45 game, but before the 8 p.m. game. If you're kicking around tomorrow at 6 p.m, come and join me here. We're live tomorrow at 1 p.m. with the player ratings. If you're a patron and you fancy tuning in, please do. Anyway, I'm going to go. I feel a bit better after my rant. You guys feel free to rant in the comment section. Click your thumbs up. You don't have to rant, by the way. If you're happy with that, please say you're happy. Honest opinions only, please. Subscribe to the channel. Click the thumbs up, please. Much appreciated. Catch you tomorrow.